Nouman Ali Khan, hoş geldiniz. Welcome.
Thank you.
İlk sorum şu olacak. Öncelikle İsrail'in Gazze'ye yönelik bir soykırımı var. Ve bu soykırım dolayısıyla İslam dünyasında ve tüm dünyada aslında bir İslamofobya da yükseliyor. Aşırı sağın da bir yükseldiğini görüyoruz. Yani İslam karşıtlığının özellikle Batı dünyasında yükseldiğini görüyoruz. Ama aynı oranda da Kur'an'a da bir yönelim olduğunu görüyoruz. Kur'an okuyan insanların daha çoğaldığını görüyoruz Batı dünyasında. Siz ABD'de yaşayan bir Müslüman entelektüel olarak bu tabloyu nasıl değerlendiriyorsunuz? Sizce nasıl bir yöntem izlenmeli bu son dönemde?
I have a few things to say about that. I think in the United States, for the first time in a very long time, there's actually a debate about Palestine. And Muslims have been raising their voice about Palestine in the United States and other parts of the world for the better part of 30, 40 years. But nobody listens. But for the first time, non-Muslims were raising their voice. And non-Muslims were protesting and speaking out on elite college campuses and in front of established business institutions. And this was a never before heard of phenomenon. In fact, even some people on the far right, very conservative Americans, were now speaking out against the genocide and against the Israeli state, and in fact its influence on the United States. So this is no longer a subject that Muslims are interested in. This has become an American debate, at least speaking on behalf of the United States. This has become a debate inside of America. And a lot more money and even force is being exerted to stop this debate from continuing. I happened to be in Cincinnati not too long ago, and Cincinnati happens to be one of the very strong Zionist presences in the United States. And I met some of the Muslim students that are there at the university campus that are collaborating with dozens of other student organizations, and they're doing a lot of demonstrations, protests, and even awareness campaigns. And they are getting a lot of support, actually, and at the same time, they're getting a lot of conflict. So it's not a simple picture anymore. And I don't think that Islamophobia in that sense is on the rise, but actually it was always there. It's just it's showing its real face. But at the same time, there's actually a much bigger opportunity than the problem. We say that with every problem, there's an opportunity. In this case, the opportunity is much bigger than the problem, actually. A lot more people are becoming aware. A lot more people are asking questions. A lot more people are interested in Islam and are actually asking intelligent questions about our religion. So this now puts new pressure on the Muslims that if they're not capable of providing intelligent answers, then they are going to miss out on this golden opportunity. And then the blame falls entirely on us. Then we don't get to cast the blame on anybody else.
Siz Hamidüddin Ferahi, Emin Ahsenel Islahi çizgisini takip ediyorsunuz. Türkiye'deki Kur'an çalışmaları yapan cemaatlerle, akademisyenlerle, hocalarla irtibata geçtiniz mi? Böyle bir fikriniz var mı? Onlarla bir ilişki kurmak istiyor musunuz? Yani böyle bir ortak çalışma düşünür müsünüz? Müslümanların kendi aralarında iç tartışmaları var. İşte Şia, Sünni, Selefi, Sufi gibi. Ama sizin söyleminiz daha kuşatıcı bir söylemle karşılaşıyor. Sizin öneriniz nedir? Yani bu iç tartışmalara mı yoğunlaşmalı Müslümanlar yoksa nasıl bir söylem geliştirmeliler?
Okay, as far as your first question, I have benefited tremendously from the work of Hamidüddin Ferahi and Amin Ahsen Islahi, but I don't limit myself to their methodology. In fact, I benefited quite a bit from them, but I also disagree with many things they say, and I continue to evolve in my own studies. Part of my methodology became some time ago that I cannot study the Quran alone, that I need collaboration. So I have two teams. I have a team of research assistants and students in Islamic universities that assist me in my studies and young scholars. And then I have a team of advisors that are experts in either Quranic studies, tafsir al-Muqaran, comparative tafsir, hadith, fiqh, history, comparative religion, biblical studies, psychology, sociology, political science, and there's a team of them. And so when I engage in a study of a surah, we get into a conversation together about every ayah and every phrase, and because I wish to gain perspective. Another part of my methodology is I don't shy away from asking questions. I will ask any question and every question that can be asked without hesitation. And that's led me to a lot of insights and a lot of discovery and a lot of really meaningful exchange. One of the exciting things about coming to Turkey is this is a place where Islamic studies, Quranic studies, is booming. And there's an international convergence of scholars and researchers from around the world that are now exchanging ideas. So it's a very exciting place to be. And I'm actually more than benefiting. I'm hoping to benefit from some of the amazing work that's happening here. And to be able to exchange with scholars and researchers and academics here would be a dream come true, actually.
Evet, son sorumuz şu olacak. Türkiye'de ve genel olarak İslam dünyasında dinden soğuma, gençlerin sekülerleşmesi eğilimlerinin arttığını görüyoruz. Özellikle İslam dünyasında, yani batıdaki durum belki biraz farklı olabilir ama Türkiye, İran, Suudi Arabistan gibi ülkelerde gençlik gittikçe daha sekülerleşiyor, dinden uzaklaşıyor. Bu bilim din çatışması, söylemlerin de artmasının sebepleri var. Ülkelerdeki adaletsizliklerin, hukuksuzlukların yükselmesinin sebebi var. Bu konuda acaba ateizm, deizm ve misyonerlikle nasıl bir mücadele yapılabilir? Nasıl bir fikri metodoloji geliştiriyorsunuz? Kısaca bunu özetleyebilir misiniz? Yani gençlerin özellikle bu sekülerleşme eğilimini nasıl durdurabiliriz?
A few things here. I don't think that I'm ever going to be interested in combating any ism. I don't want to combat Islam and atheism, or Islam and secularism, or Islam and any other ism. The problem to me, the bigger problem to me, is we didn't do a good job representing Islam. So when people are getting away from Islam, they're getting away from something that they didn't understand properly to begin with. So what are we bringing them back to? To me, the issue is, for my own self, I read the Quran in translation, and I couldn't figure out what this book is talking about, except for some things. Until I got into a study of the Quran, I realized for the larger public, we need to make the teachings of our religion, the philosophy of our religion, the logic of our religion, the worldview of our religion, especially the Quran, we need to make it accessible. I don't believe the average Muslim youth, it doesn't matter where in the Muslim world they are. Doesn't matter if they're in Pakistan, or they're in Turkey, or they're in Iran, or they're in Saudi, anywhere else, that they have a personal connection with the Quran at all. Most of them don't. And if they do, they don't really have an intellectual connection with the Quran. We're talking about changing policies to address the rise of atheism or secularism. And we're thinking this is a top-down solution. But actually, this is a bottom-up solution. We need to create a conversation about why the Quran changed the world to begin with. Why were people choosing this religion? Nowadays, if a young person thinks that this is going to restrict my freedom, choosing Islam will restrict my freedom. Why were people that had every freedom choosing Islam? This is an important question. Even in Turkey, one of the most amazing things here is Turkey is a very free society. And you can observe your religion, you can observe Islam if you want, and you can be completely atheistic if you want, and there's a choice. While we're saying a lot of people are leaving Islam, there are also a lot of young people very committed to their religion in this country, and they're not being forced to be committed, yet they're committed to their religion. So what are their reasons? So I think even in this, there's a profound opportunity. And I think what we need to do, the biggest thing, if nothing else gets taken from this discussion, is empathy. I need to be able to appreciate why a 17-year-old is thinking about atheism. I need to understand his emotions. I need to understand his or her worldview. What were they exposed to? And I need to be able to empathize. I need to feel what they feel. I'm not trying to debate with them. I'm not trying to prove them wrong. I'm not trying to defeat them in argument or win them over to my side. First of all, I need to see them as a human being who experienced something and they've led to this conclusion, and to respect them and even care for them as a human being to be able to have a normal conversation. A lot of times the Islam versus something else, Islam versus atheism, Islam versus LGBT, Islam, when we have these conversations, it's like we're debating an ideology versus an ideology, and we don't realize that the millions of people that are affected, they're not sold on an ideology. They're human beings. And you need a human conversation. I've met young students that were Muslim, they left Islam, they hate Islam, they became hardcore atheists, and they just wanted to debate. And I sat with them for 20 minutes, and half of the problem disappeared. And I didn't debate anything. I just said, so, tell me more about why you hate Islam. And first it would give their reasons, and pretty soon it would become my mother. My father did this, or the government did this, or it's a psychological thing. Yes, there is a philosophical component, but we're ignoring the psychological component. We're ignoring the human component. And that is part of the da'wah of the Quran. It was looking at the human being holistically. It wasn't just, the Quran is not a philosophy book. It didn't just present philosophical arguments. It was speaking to people in a way that would hit them here, it would also hit them here. And we need to replicate that in our messaging of Islam.
Çok teşekkürler bize vakit ayırdığınız için. Yine bekleriz Türkiye'ye.
I can't wait to be back. Thank you.